She gave vision up.
Another thing to note is that the undying zombies, they don't die to cleave, but you have to hit them. So if you have Battle Fury on Ember and you jump to all of them, you're actually going to get to hit on all of them and cleave from them. So that's why Ember can work really well against Undying.
So, you get more jump, you deal more damage, and if any of the enemy heroes are in the range, then you actually inflict more damage.
Exactly. Because the old Tombstone, you would just kill all the zombies with one Battle Fury attack, but that's not the case anymore. So that might be a reason why we see more Ember now. He's just very nice against Undying in this sense. That's just a gimmicky interaction, though, or something you should know.
LGD are baiting.
Drums was the choice. Yeah, they are.
This is a really, really big bait. But it's so obvious. I mean, they know that they're not being watched because of their Observer Wards and Sentry Wards that have already been placed. So they know they've got command of their own jungle.
They do. That's a very nice sentry. I'm just looking at Xiao 8 as he's running around and just, securing his own jungle again, trying to put down some good vision for his team.
Meanwhile, Silas got a nice creep wave on top coming, so good farm for him. So you got the 2 cores farming and the other 3 of LGD sitting and waiting. But C9, I think they're getting sick of this. They smoke underneath their own tier 2 tower at the exact same time as cooldown was used on the top. So you're not going to be able to TP down at the bottom lane and give that to support when this fight comes. But
now the wards are paying off for LGD. Look at this. They can back off. They saw that no one is farming the enemy jungle anymore. Oh, they're going to see each other as they run in. They have been spotted.
They're trying to break the smoke. This is the best area of vision where they can break the smoke of Cloud9 and still get away to safety.
He's looking for the initiation. He sees them.
Oh, they found Yao, dragging him back. Tombstone instantly down. Yao, he can't snowball in time. They just have to let him go. MMY was coming in for the shallow grave, but he just couldn't reach him.
That was a lot of skills committed for our Tuskar, though. So now they know that in 20 seconds, they're really strong to fight. They could just wait for a Tusk respawn and start going then. They could maybe even have gone in and punished, but the Tombstone is so risky to dive into.
They're trying to loop around the Tombstone. But the Dire Observer Ward, this ward is so nicely placed down the tree line.
Oh, as you say that. Mama, he's on the case.
Oh, I guess they just can't have nice things.
Yeah, really good D-warding by LGD. I'm so impressed. That's the 3rd really nice D-ward in a row in the last 6 minutes or so. So, very good play. They have been reading C9 like a book here. Not a single Dire ward on the map right now. That is very frustrating when you play and you have this happening, because they don't even have a ward on the courier. Do they even have wards available? They have 1 ward available to purchase, and they have no wards on the map. That's a terrible spot to be in. You always want to have some vision.
If you keep planning it down, you're probably going to be mentally I got to keep trying these different unique spots, and then you still get de-warded out.
Yeah.
Mentally, where do you go from there? And also knowing that LGD have the vision superiority, they're grouping up as 4, they're smoking up, and they're going north.
It's easier to make decisions when you have so much vision. So yeah, they're just going into enemy jungle. They see that they're not in our jungle, so let's go and put some wards up here again and get some info. Yeah. They also show themselves, and there is a smoke from C9 now. As the Gyro revealed himself, they instantly try to wrap around this.
Yeah, No-Tail TP'd out. He actually TP'd to the Tier 2 tower to join that smoke gank. And this Observer Ward, which LGD placed, maybe it's going to give them the false sense of security.
Yes, it could, actually. Sometimes your vision works against you.
But at the same time, look at the vision of the Dire side. They only see Sylar here on the top lane. They don't understand the trap. Envy comes in from behind, however. Yao goes for the shards. Bone 7, a big blink in. He goes for Xiao Wei, dragging him back. So no Laguna Blade, but then set up in towards the air. The Yulset protecting him while the call-down. Perfect position with the flag cannon. Envy still alive with the storm going, but maybe he's your big man. Spirit jumping away. He needs to escape from the rest of Cloud9 because he's destroyed the rest of his team. Cloud9 take almost everything in the stun on maybe. He's still got the Spirit down, the flame break, the extra stun, try to drain out the mana, a quick sleight of fist into the Spirit bump.
Maybe is gonna live and get away from this, but he's the only one. His entire team is dead. Only Queen of Pain was killed, and she still has 2.9k gold and her ultimate orb, so she's looking very farmed. Could soon have her Hex against the Ember Spirit, which is terrifying for him. So, beautiful wraparound there by C9. And as you said, the false sense of security from the ward, they didn't think that they were going to get initiated on from behind.
Yeah, and they were so clustered for it, too. Like, if you looked at that top lane for the box, it was basically 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the bait on the front lines. Like, this right here is what we call Box of Death.
Yeah, definitely. They got completely shut in there. And that's also the beauty of having, you know, Batrider and Undying. You throw down the Tombstone immediately, and you grab one guy with the Batrider. It makes it so hard to run away and get out. So you have to kind of help your guy who's being pulled away. But at the same time, if no one kills the Tombstone, you're just stuck in, as you called it, box of death.
And who was meant to kill the Tombstone? Even your disables, like Lena was the one I thought was going to be the biggest factor. That's why I was focusing on her at the start of the fight. And then she had to defensively Yule Scepter. So you can't even stop the Batrider from getting that lasso back, because she could have just Yuled him up and then just thrown down the Lion Strike Array, the Slave, tried the Laguna Blade down the Razor of all people, who's walking around with both Ogre Club as well as Mech and High 1 charges. You're not going to find that kill.
And 4 points into Unstable Current, which hurts you a lot when you're going to nuke him with a single target. You get slowed for 2 seconds, you take some damage. It's not what you want at all. And next fight is only going to be harder. When he has his full BKB on, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Here they come. Zhao Wei, Tombstone's going to drop. But Point 7's not in position for the blink. However, Misery will onto Zhao Wei.
But not enough to follow up there. He did have the ulti available on Lion as well to target down Lina, but he didn't have more follow-up, so decided to save it.
23-minute scythe that you're talking about.
Yep.
It's now arrived fully.
Interesting. I think this is the first time here at TI that I see the straight-up Hex Rush, whereas many people have been going for the Ags and Yule Scepter or Yules into Ags. That kind of build, but Hex is superior against Ember. It is so good to lock him down.
Yeah, it's a different mindset too. Like Cloud9 are looking at this going, okay, team fights and then pushing is probably where we're going to find victory here. If you're going for the Aghanim Scepter build, you got more confidence in your own, like, we just push as 5, or it's always like reset team fight, next 30 seconds, then we go again.
I wouldn't hate to see the Necrobook build this game as well. They don't have any pushing at all, and they're going up against the, you know, maybe's Ember and the Gyrocopter on this side, and Dazzle. Late game is going to be dangerous. I'm not saying that they're straight up weaker, but it's still not going to be easy to execute if you can't finish this game when you have a big advantage.
Would you then look for the more classic Razor build with the Aghanim Scepter? I'm not going to say Aghanim's Refresher, but like, would you go down that line?
Envy loves Shiva on his Razor as well, so could definitely see a Shivas. But Aghanim's Refresher is very, very strong for pushing, so they could go into that. Downside being that you don't get too much HP from it.
This mech is so delayed by Lina, because she's going for it. Like, they actually made Lina our mech builder. Needs another 600 gold to complete it, and that's after Yule Scepter and Arcane Boots.
And look at her max HP. Like, she has so much gold on her, but it's not turning into that much yet. Not in her HP pool, at least.
Not survivability. Well, there's some dewarding going on with that gem over on Bone 7.
Amazing to have a gem on Batrider. One of the best gem carriers for sure, along with like Coddle and Night Stalker, Slark, heroes like this. Because he can always have the flying, just get up there and find these wards. So we're going to see if C9 can set up for Roshan here, as LGD are definitely on the back foot. They don't have much going for them. Do they have a smoke available right now? Or
does C9 still have enough damage for Roshan?
They do not have one on them, and their shop is actually out of smokes. So, yeah, they don't have a smoke to use.
I'm not seeing a medallion over on Cloud9, so like going in for Roshan could be pretty difficult for them.
Yeah, it is a little bit hard. They don't have, again, the best heroes to bring down Roshan. They don't have good Rosh, don't have good pushing. They have very good fighting heroes. That's what they have.
Yeah, they could bait the fact they're going for Roshan, and maybe this is why the Sigil is now making his long trek across the Radiant Jungle over towards the pit. Just think, you know what, hey, maybe they're looking at this.
Yeah, definitely. It's going there to scout, but
interception.
I mean, they're just fine farming up the enemy jungle right now, but maybe realizes this as well, so he's just pushing top. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I want to be farming. I want to be doing something. I'm going to take this tier 1 tower, and he's completely safe in doing so.
Surprisingly, Cloud9 didn't fortify that. They had fortification up.
Yeah, you should always do it. If you remember it, you should always do it for a tier 1 tower, of course.
Just would delay a little bit of time. Yeah. But it's going to be trade-off anyway. Cloud9, they've got 3 guys forcing in the Tier 2 tower. There's your fortification from LGD. Now, that one won't regenerate after this tower goes down because there's no Tier 1 towers left for LGD. But because of, like, you could have bought yourself 4 more seconds, this tower is now taking a fair amount of damage for it.
Yeah, and the push bottom now as well. They're getting into the base here. See if Batrider can sneak around and get the vision here.
Maybe he can finish this tower by
they
himself.
ping him.
He's got the double damage rune, so he can also TP back into this fight with the high damage. And Envy, well, there's your Blink Dagger in, 4 stars away. Couldn't actually get the lasso on, which means the Tombstone is a little bit too deep here. They couldn't drag the lineup back, so the Tombstone will drop. The tier 2 tower was lost on top lane.
Yeah, they got the tower there, and they also hold very nicely that they saw the Batrider early as he was trying to sneak in. He was in vision when he tried to go down there. Let's see what C9 do now. Just gonna reset into the enemy jungle once more.
Well, they had to. Like, when that weave, like, MMY actually got a 5-man weave at the start of that. C9 was so clustered together, you got a 5-man weave, and C9 was like, you know what, we're losing all our armor. That's a double damage rune, Ember Spirit. We do not want to be here. And Ember does have the Battle Fury now.
You know, I'm gonna believe that that is one of the bigger parts that separates casual players and players who are very experienced is things like that, small things. People won't notice the dazzle and how much it does until you actually have played quite a bit and realize it's a very dangerous spell. If you get Gyrocopter's flat cannon on you when you have minus armor, your entire team might be gone immediately. And I'm just looking at Envy right now. I'm trying to wait and see what he's going to pick up for next item, because I would love to see the Shivas in this game. More armor on him would definitely be nice. And,
he might need it just up against the Dazzle.
Yeah.
More than anything else. But he then might also think, well, should I build an Assault Cuirass for my team? Like, I know you like the Shivas on him, but like, who else would be building such an item for Cloud9? Unless Bone 7 starts getting crap tons of money.
Yeah, like Assault Cuirass is okay as well, but it's just that the Shivas synergizes really nicely with your Plasma Field as well. You send out the Shivas and Plasma Field, you slow them down, you deal tons of damage in AoE, and you just run in and be a boss, you know?
The Sigil Scout's doing its work. Yeah. They're really keeping very, very close eyes over on Roshan. Same time, the Sigil's going to scout the courier moving down, so it's going to flag the fact, in fact, there is the instant ping. It's like, okay, we see the Sigil, and the Sigil sees us.
Yeah, a little faceless Rex coming down there. He's going to be safe. No couriers have died in this game so far.
It wasn't like the roasted chicken house that was opened up yesterday.
Oh, yeah. In the wildcards, we had some game with like 5 or 6 couriers dying.
It was cluckles every time. Like, CDEC lost their courier, I think, 8 times yesterday.
Wow. Throughout their games? That is insane.
It was high. It was very, very high throughout their games.
Well, that's what you get when you send it into the enemy base when you don't have any heroes in the enemy base. You know, like sometimes the poor courier, he didn't want to go there, dude.
He uses it as a ward to watch Roshan.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it can be tactical, but they're going to try and kill Roshan now. They don't have Medallion, as you pointed out, so very slow Rosh. They also don't have heals.
The ping's coming out.
Where is LGD?
Ember just pinged it out and said, you know what, like this is going on right now.
They're very, very far away, though. And Roshan already down to 60%.
Okay, No Tal throws this Tombstone down so early.
Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that, because the enemy, we know that the enemy is super far away, but we have the bird's eye. If you're C9 in this case, and you know that the enemy is still not here, this Tombstone was up in good timing. It's not going to drop until after they killed Roshan anyway. So I believe this was a very nice sneak by C9. And maybe LGD just misinterpreted it as a smoke gang from C9, because they didn't really see what they were doing.
True.
After a Sigil Scout, though, I kind of thought they would go there and contest.
They might have thought they would have had the vision for it to see him move, but because of that gem over on Bone 7, if you actually look at the Radiant Ward, which is just hovering just a little bit lower than the Tier 1 tower, they had to put it on the cliff side. So the vision they get doesn't see far enough onto the dire side of the river. So Queen of Pain was the only one that walked down to Roshan out of the cover of smoke.
Same on the top rune, if you look at that, the Radiant Ward there. They really got creative in their warding, and this is some anti-gem wards that you will throw down. They're just harder to see, less chance that you're going to run by and be like, oh, hey, easy ward. So LGD